This is Pokemon Ranger Claude. He's about to have a midlife crisis. Let's listen in. I hate Game Freak. It's been 16 years since I signed that damned contract working as a Route 1 trainer, and I've had it! If I only read the fine print, I wouldn't have signed. For the rest of your life, you will stand in a single spot and battle people on their journey to become Pokemon Master. I didn't realize I would never get breaks. Ugh. At least I have my brothers Swoobat and Simisear by my side. Without them, I would go insane. I just wish I had another chance at life. Please, Arceus, if you're listening, I just want to be a cute pop star and become Pokemon League champion! Where am I? In the back of a moving truck? Astolfo, I'm here at last? Who is that? My name is Claude. Oh, my baby Pansear, at least you're here with me. Who named you Felix? And my trusty Woobat, Mahiro? Wait, and who put this dress on me? Could it be? Have I been given the chance at my dream, released from my Route 1 prison and reincarnated as a pop star to take my shot at becoming the Pokemon League champion? There is only one rule for this challenge. I must beat the game fighting entirely with only Mahiro and Felix. They were the only Pokemon we had in his previous life as Claude, so they will be the only ones to aid him on his new journey. I may have other Pokemon for HM purposes, but they will never see the light of battle. Ah yes, that's me, the average young man. My dad works at Petalburg City as a gym leader. It's been years since I've seen him. Let's see what he thinks of how I've grown. So you're done moving in. I see. Well, I guess we shouldn't stand around out here talking. What a heartwarming conversation for someone who hasn't seen his son in many years. First things first, Mahiro evolves into Swoobat through friendship, and there was actually a feature in the game called Pokemon Ami, where you got to feed your Pokemon, pet your Pokemon, and play minigames with them. I'm not sure how much it raises the friendship by, but throughout the early game, I petted the shit out of him. As you can imagine with two Pokemon, I don't exactly have an optimal type spread across my team, as both of them are very weak to rock types. So naturally, Karma wastes no time in humbling me as I immediately run headfirst into Roxanne, the rock type gym leader. At this point, the only legitimate move that I had across my two Pokemon was Mahiro's Confusion, so the plan was to outspeed Roxanne's Geodude and 2-tap her, heal Mahiro when Felix is out, and wipe the floor with Confusion once again. Oh yeah, she's got a max restore and that did absolutely no damage. So, when that strategy didn't work, twice in fact, I decided I would have to go overlevel my Pokemon in the route above. After returning back, however, I realized I could let my Pokemon hold an Oranberry, and after some extra levels, it became feasible. Hitting Geodude with a second Confusion on my final HP, Nosepass uses Rock Tomb and misses even though it's a 95% accuracy. As Confusion is the only move I have, I get the 10% chance Confusion status, followed by a 50% chance he hits himself in Confusion. I wasn't sure how I was gonna beat this woman. Oh, and just like that, I've done way more than the average Route 1 trainer in any game. I have defeated the first gym leader. A literal 0.25% chance of that sequence occurring, a 1 in 400. After claiming my badge, I get caught up in political warfare after rescuing some scientist from Team Aqua's clutches and get sent to Dewford City by boat. The fresh breeze through my dress, wind coursing through my hair, I'm off to the second gym, which turns out to be a stark contrast from the previous. They're a fighting dojo, so Mahiro quickly wipes the floor with his super effective psychic moves. I use this time to level up against fighting type trainers to easily increase my friendship with Mahiro and eventually move onto Brawly. With my newly acquired Heart Stomp in hands, I place Machop and Makuhita onto their last legs and finish them off with a simple boop of Confusion. After all that, I quickly claim the second gym badge. A complete reversal of the struggles occurred in the first. It felt like a negligible roadblock in my journey. I blinked and it's already over. Inconspicuously hidden in a nearby cave resides a man named Steven, studying the stone inscriptions scattered across the cove to uncover the true meaning behind Mega Evolutions. I think you have in you what it takes to become a Pokemon League champion? Okay, Game Freak for decades tried to restrict me in Route 1, but it's like it's my destiny to become champion, eh? Oh, silly Steven, you absent-minded simple rock researcher, just stick to your lane. I don't know who you are, but Pokemon battling isn't for you. At Slateport City, I make a conservative effort to continually start off with my hero whenever I could, as the easiest way to boost the strength of my team would be from evolving through friendship. Of course, all the while I had an EXP share on so Felix wouldn't lose out. Before leaving the city, we get stopped, as Licia, the #1 pop star of our generation, is visiting the contest hall. Hey, that's Licia and Ali doing a shoot over there. Oh my goodness, Licia is here? Let's go check her out. My god, she's just as cute and gorgeous as she is on TV. Hi, everybody. What a sensational and peppy pop star. She's here to pick a future contestant in the crowd. Oh, pick me, please, Licia, pick me. And his name is, do I look like a boy? Man, no cap, she's just my type. Continuing north with the onslaught of butterflies in my stomach, I reach my first of multiple rival fights with May. Her Shroomish executed advanced stalling techniques like paralyzing with Stun Spore, Leech Seeding, followed by continuous Mega Drain attacks, but eventually I was able to get an Incinerate out. Marsh Stomp, however, proved a massive problem. She has ground attacks that would completely wipe my paralyzed Felix, so I decide to keep Mahiro in, but his Confusion and Gust were only able to tickle the enemy. After Marsh Stomp bided her time, she would easily weather my storm and take me out. Paralyzed, we have no chance against Slugma with Rock Throw. So, it's back to the training block. Returning back, I deployed a different strategy against May. Instead of fire, I would utilize Gust as my super effective move against Shroomish. From there, matching a swap to Felix against Slugma helped cause some flinches with Bite, but also provided a timer to use items as Slugma couldn't do significant damage to me. So I took this time to recover paralysis on Mahiro with a Cherry Berry. After falling to Marsh Stomp, it's like Gust and RNG might be the only way out. Surviving on 2 HP to her powerful bide, I was able to catch her lacking, setting up another attack, while I Gust the last bit of her HP. Nice, oh thank goodness. The final turn. Making it past May, we arrive at the region's most technical and economically booming city, Mauville. But I'm more excited about the bicycle. You see, to get Licia's model to work, you have to overwrite the male protagonist's file with hers, but the one I overwrote was only for the standard overworld walking model. For things like riding a bike, surfing, cutscenes, it utilizes aid from other files. This is the reason you haven't seen me run yet. It's Omega cursed. That being said, we walk into Rydell's bike shop and pick up the Acro bike for the moment of truth. My god! Wait, I can still be Licia? Now the Acro bike has to be cursed. What is this? Oh my goodness. After finally acquiring the fastest method of movement, we make our way to the third gym, where our pal Wally attempts to walk shit down. Uncle, I'm begging you, let me fight in this gym, or I'm telling everyone you peep on Hex Maniacs! Well, hold on there, buddy. You'll understand when you're older, okay? After getting caught up in this family dispute with felony-like accusations being thrown about, it's our job to teach this boy a lesson. Now, I know with his weak-ass routes, he definitely didn't defeat Roxanne with Disarming Voice. How did he get to this point? After teaching him the harsh realities of life, we make it inside Watson's electric-type gym. Similarly to the sweep Mahiro provided us in the second, Felix stepped up his game and gave us some dramatic Incinerates. Watson, employing my favorite competitive tactic in Pokemon, utilizes the stall technique. He knows if he lets Felix run rampant, it's lights out. So he relies on the Sturdy ability to get out a paralysis, which also halves my speed. With my hard-headed attitude, I attempt to use Incinerate, but he outspeeds and Volt switches into Voltorb, dwindling me down. He sacks his 1 HP Magnemite, but completely fails at the last hurdle, attempting to charge instead of outright defeating Felix. On his final Pokemon, a couple of Volt switches later, He defeats Felix and there was no chance Mahiro would clean things up. Running it back, I realized the halving of my speed from paralysis is really what costed me the fight, so I provide it with a cherry berry in anticipation of the thunder wave. With a healthy Felix, Magneton and Voltorb were quickly swept away. I should take this time to mention, I've been playing Pokemon for my entire life, ever since the release of Heart Gold and Soul Silver back in 2009. Since then, I have not memorized the type chart. A lot of the deaths I've encountered today have been due to lack of knowledge and planning. It's insane how bad I am at this game. I'm incredibly competitive though and love difficult challenges, so if you're enjoying this type of content, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to run a difficult Nuzlocke in the future. Heading north while rummaging through this dirty suit, it's seriously damaging the frilliness of this dress. We make it to Meteor Falls, where the scientist from earlier is once again being ganked by Team Aqua. Does this look like the face of someone who is ready to throw it down? Partnering up with May, we defeat the Aqua Grunts, but they still make it out with the scientist's meteorite, so it's our job to scale Mount Chimney and stop Team Aqua's leader within the crater's border. You know, Game Freak didn't have to canonically make every generation's protagonists underage. Not even 16, 17, like 12. While they're out here scaling mountains and fighting for the sake of humankind, I swear I was still picking my boogers and eating it at their same age. Making our way to the top, we meet Archie, who is attempting to harness the power of the volcano to awaken the legendary Kyogre. I lead with Mahiro against Mightyena, but quickly realize after the multitude of psychic type attacks I've used against the Poochyena that it does not affect him. So I swap out to Felix for some newly acquired Flame Burst spams. I got clapped anyways due to swagger and hitting myself in confusion. But after running it back, realizing I have Persim berries that can cure confusion, Felix strikes his signature dominant pose and bites his competition away, until Golbat hits him with another Confuse Ray. Ah yes, the classic strategy, prey upon RNGesus. I throw out Mahiro and decide to set up, as I know Sharpedo has swagger and I'm holding another Persim berry, giving me a free turn to add +1 special attack. After looking through the secondary swagger confusion, it's a wrap for Archie's Sharpedo. You might think that the Elite Four would be the hardest part of this challenge. Scratch that, you might think battling with 2 Pokemon in very low attacking and defending type coverage would be the hardest part of this challenge. After all, they stem from a Route 1 trainer who are often regarded as the weakest trainers. What if I told you the hardest part about this challenge is not even a Pokemon battle, but rather an intense decision looming over our heads here in Laveridge Town? Which gender hot spring will Claude enter? As the sun begins to set on this beautiful day, we require a rest at the local hot spring, and although I'm dressed to the nines, you should never judge a book by its cover, but rather the contents inside. So Mahiro, Felix, and I will take a well-deserved rest in the male hot spring to cool off for the night. Upon waking up the next morning, we make it to the Laveridge City Gym, the home of Flannery and her fire-based Pokemon. To navigate the multitude of levels, we have to stand on these trapdoors or rising platforms that change our elevation, but they become really funny as the little flick of our hair as well as our scarf tend to have a mind of their own. This little hair flick I'll call Tailo. Welcome to the team. I don't have any obvious super effective moves against these trainers, so I test out the capabilities of my team with this unsuspecting trainer. Felix looks promising as the primary team member to sweep, as their fire type moves have little effect and Bite provides a lot of damage and the chance to flinch. After limit testing against this simpleton, it makes me think about my past life as a Route 1 trainer. Not 24 hours ago, I too was standing in the same position for 24 hours a day, putting on a happy facade for any real trainer that, as per the contract, I could only begin conversation if they walked directly in my field of view. Man, I sort of feel sorry for them. If I become champion, maybe I'll ask Game Freak to release all stationary trainers from their contracts. Making my way to the end of the gym.
Better not underestimate me just cause I've been a leader for a short time. Aww.
She hits the Felix pose and accepts our challenge. I lead with half HP Mahiro as I expect him to serve little purpose in this battle, so any tickle damage is better than nothing. Tossing out Felix, we get her to consume a hyper potion and continue to bite. Nom nom. After lucking out with a couple of flinches, a powerful body slam from Torkoal leaves us paralyzed, and unfortunately he takes minimal damage, so with a last ditch effort, we revive Mahiro, dwindle his HP just a little bit more before sacrificing Felix, for a chance that Gust can take it completely out from a third HP.
Nice! Again, my final HP. I'm clutching these gym leaders so crazily. Bye, Flannery.
With that, we receive the Heat Badge, the fourth in our set. She provides us with the TM Overheat, which I quickly applied to Felix before realizing this was probably not the greatest idea. With only 2 Pokemon, the 5 PP it comes with becomes a real issue, as it's my only Fire-type move, so I've got to make each attack count. May suddenly arrives and I give her the lowdown of the tales that occurred on Mount Chimney. She takes us over to Petalburg, which is the first proper town where my father's gym lies, as he is the next roadblock of the challenge. I feel like this game is more action-packed than others in the franchise, especially when it comes to gyms. After the first, I was quickly sent to Brawley. After Flannery, I was quickly sent to my father Norman here in Petalburg. Little known fact about the behind the scenes of trainers and their names, on their contract to become a gym leader, Game Freak actually forces them to legally change their name depending on the type of gym they want to run. No, I'm not making this up. For normal types, we will force the lowly subject to change their name to Norman. Ah yes, what a stroke of genius. He will be aptly named Normal Norman. Unfortunately here, trainers are unskippable as you're required to beat them to move on to the next room, but thankfully, after a level up from Mahiro and countless pettings, he finally decides this was the time to evolve.
Mahiro's evolving! Oh my god, my little cutie patootie. It's been so much fun with you. But alas, you must evolve.
And there we have it, the first big update to the team. We have the ever so manly Swoobat. We finally reach Norman, who sends out a level 28 Slacking. Yo, what is this? The last time I checked, Vigoroth evolves at level 36. Norman might actually be on his own mission to overtake Game Freak through an inside job. Anyways, since I expect Mahiro to stay out for a long period of time due to Slacking's ability, Traunt, which forces him to skip a turn after attacking, I pelt him with a couple of +1 special attack air slashes. Thankfully, we outspeed the Vigoroth and one-hit KO him. I can't say the same for the following Slacking, as he dices Mahiro up with a feint attack. With some additional heal cycling and abusing the fact he has Traunt, I end up dealing the final blow with another air slash. I can't believe it. I lost to Astolfo. Yup, acknowledge your son's power. Give me the balance badge. Prior to navigating the suit-infested grassy terrain from earlier, I received the Strength HM from May, and after seeing Mahiro evolve, I realized I should go and look for the closest Firestone to evolve Felix. So making my way north of Mauville City, I reach a cave and after pushing some rocks, acquire the long-awaited Firestone.
Okay, Felix, you're gonna turn from a boy to a man today. Finally, both of my Pokemon are exactly how I left them back in Black and White.
Welcome back to the party, Simisear. After escape roping out, I reach the route east of Mauville with my newly acquired Surf from defeating Norman.
Oh, look at this icon, when she's just standing. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's the queen. Oh, my fault, queen. She's the king of the water.
Trekking ahead, we get stopped by Mr. Stone, the cave dweller from earlier, who seems to acknowledge our power once again and tells us about a lone Latias that requires our defensive efforts on an island across the horizon, so we hop on Latios and fly to her aid.
Sheesh. I get to use the Lysio sprite here too, that's so cute.
Upon arriving on the island, we defeat the aquatic foes pestering Latias and are rewarded with her companionship. As this encounter is forced on us, it's only right that we give her a name. Welcome to the team, Ruka! Of course, we will be instantly depositing her during our next Pokemon Center visit, but for now, she's a part of the Astolfo crew. We run into a couple more of those Team Aqua peasants and save this scientist once again. He seems to attract the wrong attention, like he's got some negative aura of sorts.
Another forced Pokemon, huh? Alright, let's give it a name.
Welcome to the Team Najimi! Traversing north, we make it to Tree City, the town where adults cherish their childhood dreams and build their homes as tree houses. Climbing up and down these ladders, we get a glimpse of our old pal Talo. After depositing Ruka and Najimi, I place Felix at the front of my party as he's not as leveled as Mahiro, and as we near the Elite Four, I'm going to need these two to be as balanced as I can to have them support each other. We receive the Devon Scope that allows us to fight invisible foes blocking our path, which allows us to banish this Kecleon defending the Tree City gym.
Oh Winona, from the Route 1 prison I began at, to this magnificent wind tunnel, grant me a battle that will blow me away. I challenge you for the 6th gym badge.
I arrive at the gym leader with 2 PP of overheat left on Felix, which is his strongest move, but as it lowers special attack, I choose to swap out Mahiro after the Oko to reset the negative statuses. Thankfully, I hit a clutch critical hit followed by an instant flinch. I swear, I've gotten incredibly lucky this run and force her to quickly use a Hyper Potion. On her last Pokemon, with a final PP of overheat left, her Pelipper protects. But it's okay, they're low enough that any move will knock him out of existence. And with that, we receive the 6th gym badge of the game, the Feather Badge. Surfing south, we make it to Mount Pyre, an abandoned mountain infested with ghosts. Makes sense. And a whole lot of trainers. Makes less sense. Where we meet one of Lycia's beautiful sisters. If you recall, she's the stunning #1 beauty queen from the contest hall. After making it atop Mount Pyre, we clear out these Aqua thugs, but we are too late. Archie has snagged one of the precious orbs that this elderly couple's entire family lineage has been tasked to defend for a multitude of generations. How are they going to force this frail old couple to defend what are the necessary catalysts required to awaken beasts that have the potential to destroy the world? Cycling to Lily Cove City, I genuinely begin tweaking out, forgetting how to progress eastwards as there are a line of Whalmers blocking my way. After lollygagging for some time, I finally find Team Aqua's hidden base, but it's blocked by these wannabe thugs. I realize I have to traverse back to Slateport City and stop Archie from stealing Captain Stern's submarine, but alas, story of our life, we are too late. Finally, after about 40 minutes, I've figured out how to enter Team Aqua's hideout and face off against a horde of Poochyena, who I might say are incredibly annoying. I don't have a widespread move like Surf to take them out, and they spam sand attacks to lower my accuracy. Fighting Archie's right-hand man, he owns a Sharpedo that outspeeds Mahiro, but it's nothing that Felix can't handle. Exiting the hideout, we travel further east past the precious line of Whalmers into Maws Deep City. Inside, we fight Liza and Tate, a pair of psychic siblings who are able to communicate telepathically. This gym provides a massive threat to both my Pokemon, as once again, Rock-type moves are super effective against both my Mons, as we learned from the first gym. And Solrock has Rock Slide, which can hit all enemies on the field at the same time. Not only that, Lunatone has Light Screen, which reduces special attack damage by half for 5 turns. Needless to say, this strategy completely walled Felix and Mahiro out. So, it's about time I explore the bag and the TMs I've accumulated on my way to this point. First, I provide Shadow Ball to Mahiro, which gave him a single super effective move against their psychic typing. And I actually traveled back to the Lily Cove City department store to buy Focus Blast for Felix. Arriving back with these upgrades, it was incredibly easy to take Liza and Tate's Pokemon out. Thankfully, they only had 1 Pokemon each. Shadow Ball and a physical attack like Bite was able to make quick work of Lunatone, and after tanking a Rock Slide, Solrock met the same Bite and Shadow Ball fate. After earning the Mind Badge, it's like we are finally on the home stretch with arguably 2 of the most underused and forgotten Pokemon Generation 5 has to offer. From our humble beginnings in Route 1, as we exit the Psychic type gym, we come across a Pillar of Light. Team Aqua must have progressed in their plans and released the seal to Kyogre's den. Making my way to the Pillar of Light, I dive deep underwater to uncover the source of this tomfoolery. After legit getting stuck in this strength puzzle meant for children, I encounter the man who is single-handedly attempting to revive the Waterlord Kyogre and submerge the entire world underwater. Archie, the leader of Team Aqua, is at the final step of his master plan to captivate Kyogre's power and submerge the entire world for his own selfish desires. This is literally the greed they talk about in the Bible. Tossing out Felix into his Mightyena.
Yup, we learned Focus Blast. Yup, we can take out Dark-type Pokemon.
On his last Pokemon, he whips out the classic Sharpedo and takes about 95% damage from my hero's Air Slash. Nay, so close.
Okay, I'm gonna hope... my hero couldn't survive. I'm going to hope Felix is faster than this Mega Sharpedo. That's not a bet that I would normally bet on. But... please? Yes! Why is he faster? Why is Felix faster? Oh, okay, we take those. We take those. We take those. Perfect! You're just as great as any little hero trying to save the world ought to be. My default skin is just always happy in these cutscenes. It's so funny.
With Kyogre now revived, we make our way to Sutopolis City and the Cave of Origin, the final resting place of Kyogre before he ultimately devours the world. With the aid of the red orb, we were given atop Mount Pyre and this high-tech wetsuit. We dive headfirst into Primal Kyogre's lair. In preparation of this battle, I sought after a super effective move as I expected both of my boys to get OHKO'd during this fight. So as I was scrolling through my bag, I learned that Felix could actually learn Grass Knot, which unexpectedly became one of the most powerful moves going forward with all future trainers involved in this run. The plan was to Grass Knot with Felix and finish him off with 2 Air Slashes from Mahiro after hopefully tanking a hit.
You know what? We take those. We take those. Throw strategy out the window. If he misses a hit, then this is just insta win. Okay. Oh my, he missed 2 hits. Oh my gosh. Primordial Groudon is shining upon me right now. Ugh. So easy.
And just like that, as a 40-year-old Route 1 trainer with only 2 Pokemon by my side, reincarnated as a Popstar champion in the making, I was able to seal Kyogre for good, putting a stop to the shenanigans caused by Team Aqua, where I finally reach the 8th gym of the game. This is the Water-type gym. It consists of these slippery ice puzzles where we have to walk on every tile to spawn the staircase that helps us progress forwards. Like I said earlier, Grass Knot has actually become my saving grace for Water-type Pokemon, so I doubled down and flew all the way back to Slateport City Market to grab a Rose Incense. The Rose Incense raises the power of Grass-type moves by the holder by 20%. The only downside to Grass Knot on Felix isn't the fact that it's not stab, it's the fact that Water-type Pokemon who I use this move against are Water types, so they can equally, if not much easier, OHKO Felix right back. Nevertheless, I take the time I have with Love Disc to set up Felix with an X special attack, as I know she can't defeat me easily.
Nay. I'm confused and attracted. Oh my god, this is like real life. Felix, this is like real life. What gender are you? Male? Female? Who do you like? No, I'm kidding. It's not like real life. Just please get through this confusion and attract. Yes! Yes, okay. That's good. Good.
After snapping out of confusion and getting through Love Disc's attract,
I should be able to 2-shot this Milotic, but Milotic might 1-shot me, is the problem. And if she does... Ooh. Yes! Yes, 1-shot. Okay, it was X special attack and some really good luck is all it took.
With Wallace's most powerful Pokemon out of the lineup, Felix simply outsped the Whiscash, Celio, and Seaking with Grass Knot. Never in your life have you seen a Fire-type Pokemon completely wipe out a Water-type gym. I stock up on some max repels, healing potions, all of the sorts before making my way to Victory Road.
Hey, you weren't even looking at me. What was that? Are you an owl?
I get through Victory Road where I eventually meet Wally. The last time we fought was in front of his old man at Mauville City, where he had only a measly Ralts. He's coming in hot with 5 entire Pokemon this time. I ended up replacing Overheat with Flamethrower due to the PP problem I talked about earlier, slowly but surely whittling his Altaria down. Flamethrower again provided to be extremely effective against his Magneton. Swapping out to Mahiro allowed me to stab Air Slash his Delcatty, and similarly his Roselia and Gallade.
Okay, I feel a lot better for the Elite Four that I can defeat Wallace with 2 shitty Pokemon. I didn't mean shitty, nah, Mahiro. Mahiro and Felix are my goats.
This is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. The first ever Pokemon Challenge run I've ever attempted. We've made it into the Elite Four. Sydney is my first opponent, so I lead with Felix, who I initially taught Focus Blast to deal with Team Aqua's Mightyena, but it happened to come in handy for this battle as well. Shiftry was a piece of cake with Flamethrower, but here we go again. Face to face with a speedy Water-type Pokemon, the unconventional Simisear with Grass Knot outspeeds the literal shark out of water and gets the Oko. This combo will never fail to amaze me. Absol meets the same fate as Mightyena, and for Cacturne I can pick out a multitude of different poisons, but this time it was Flamethrower. It's so amazing to see both of my Pokemon shine in their own rights. The first half of the game Mahiro carried with its earlier evolution, Psychic type attacks as well as Air Cutter, but during the second half, the Rose Incense Grass Knot Felix has taken the torch and is currently running away with it. We reach the Ghost Master Phoebe and lead once again with Felix. Our goal is to get as many bites off as we can without hitting ourselves in confusion. I could use a confusion restore item, but I like to live my life on the edge. Sableye gets taken away by a simple Flamethrower, but luck is not on my side when it came to Banette hitting myself in confusion twice. But in the end, after a series of heal cycling, he fell to his knees with an Oko bite to the neck. Since Felix has been badly poisoned for a couple turns now, I decide to consume a Pecha Berry, crunchitizing the Banette and subsequently the frail Dusknoir. Again, time after time, Felix is really putting on a clinic here. Not once have I needed to whip out Mahiro at all. Unfortunately, his Thunder Punch fully paralyzes me, but after avoiding multiple paralysis procs...
Nice! Please high roll, please high roll, please high roll. Okay, not even close. Oh, Phoebe down, Phoebe down.
Running into Glacia, the Ice-type Elite Four member, it's so incredible the type coverage, strength, the domination Felix is able to put on in the endgame as she throws out a Glalie, but it's like nothing she can do is enough. Paralyzed from the previous fight as I have nothing to heal it off, I Oko the Walrein with plus 20% damage on Grass Knot and use my limited time with Mahiro to feed Felix health potions.
Okay, wait, I'm thinking, if Mahiro dies and then Felix dies, I can release the paralysis, but both of them can't be dead at the same time. Okay, so I just gotta revive Mahiro.
Genius thought process! To get rid of the status condition that halves my speed, I require Felix to faint. I defeat Frostlass with my trusty Flamethrower and proceed to get buffed by Hail, which knocks him out, but also removes that pesky status condition, allowing me to simply outspeed her last 2 Pokemon, and end them with Felix's signature flames. The final member before the champion is the Elite Four Dragon Trainer Drake. Unfortunately, neither of my Pokemon have a strong edge against dragon types, so this battle will really go down to a war of nutrition. Beginning with Mahiro, I was able to take away a full restore after exchanging some damage and roosting. Sending over Psychics as increased damage from stab attacks, I heal up and proceed to finish her off with a final Psychic. 1 down, 4 more to go. The next Pokemon is the King of the Sea, so I attempt to whittle him down but take multiple super effective Ice Beams to the face. ultimately leading to Mahiro's demise. But fear not, after swapping to Felix, outspeeding and landing an incredibly lucky critical hit, the King of the Sea goes down. Unfortunately, this isn't the most elegant fight out there. I'm consistently using up turns to revive and heal, acting on some tickle damage with Mahiro before swapping to Felix and providing the finishing moves. After taking a Dragon Rush to the cranium, Felix falls, and it's like, Mahiro, you're our only hope. With 2 psychic PPs left, I tank 1 hit, but somehow, once again, I am saved by the speed of my boys. We attack first and utilize the final PP of my strongest stab move. Drake, I regret to inform you, your reign of terror is no longer. Step aside as I'm ready to become the Pokemon League champion. Steven, the first human on this land to acknowledge my power way back in the caves of Dewford, when my Pokemon were just mere boys. Today, we stand. The 3 of us battled through blood, sweat, and tears to get here, challenging you for your title now, as men. Felix, Flamethrower! Against Aggron, I wasn't able to Oko him like Skarmory, so I take a super effective Stone Edge seemingly up my rectum, but a simple Shadow Ball takes him out. Thankfully, although Felix is knocked out, I assume Cradily is pure grass type Pokemon from the obvious flower inspiration it was created from, but Air Slash didn't seem to be super effective, punishing me with a rock to the face. Fortunately, as a last-ditch effort, I revive Felix and he spends a turn using Confuse Ray, which allows me to 2-hit Cradily if I just get through Confusion. It's crazy, the risks I'm taking. I want this champion title so bad. He throws out Claydol, but as Felix is on his last legs anyways, I keep him in to deal whatever damage I can. To myself, with Mahiro, thankfully, Claydol only knows ineffective psychic type moves, so I take this time to heal my Pokemon up and stall, followed by some necessary Shadow Balls. 4 down, 2 more to go. It's like I send out my Felix after a max PP restore and force Armaldo to crawl back in his shell with the most devastating flamethrower Felix has ever breathed. Against the final Pokemon standing between me and becoming the definitive Pokemon League champion, as we watch his Metagross Mega Evolve in awe. We will not back down. Felix stabilizes his core and plants his feet firmly on the ground before breathing fire like he's never breathed before, sacrificing his life. But it's like it was not in vain. You stripped him of his full heals, you deleted his past Pokemon. Felix, you walked so Mahiro could run. In the final moments of the match, we threw out the final Shadow Ball. Final Pokemon, and just like that, we went from a stationary, boring life bound by Game Freak in Route 1 for the rest of my life to a Pokemon champion. Steven, I reincarnated as a power pop beauty pageant queen with the souls of Mahiro and Felix from my previous life. And here we are, accomplishing the world. Congratulations to you, and thank you. Yes, and there we have it. It is possible that a lowly, underpowered Route 1 trainer, limited by the chains Game Freak has programmed upon us, can be the Pokemon champion. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a blast making this video, and if you enjoyed, please leave a sub down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, only if you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more gaming related content, and I hope to produce better things in the future. See you next time.